Hey, my name is attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. What we're going to be doing as we drive from Fort Lauderdale back to Orlando is talking about credibility letters. Now, I just did a video about credibility letters in general. Now I'm going to do a video about specific categories, the three main ones: friends, families, and work associates. A lot of people will be sitting there and saying, what about medical professionals? Usually you should be obtaining from them a residual functional capacity form. It's a letter that talks about your abilities to do the ings: walking, standing, pushing, pulling, remembering, focusing, crouching, stooping, whatever. Okay? That's what that is usually for. If you're getting a letter from them, that should be because they wouldn't write you an RFC, or that should be because, essentially you already have an RFC and you're just trying to bolster your medical evidence. All right? Let's go ahead and begin. In this video, we will cover: what should your friend's example letter include? That it would be a credibility letter submitted to the Social Security Administration to bolster your claim before the SSA for your SSDI or SSI benefits. Let's go ahead and begin. Okay. So basically, right, the letter should be inclusive of all things that matter. Thing number one that's going to matter is you let them know in the letter, if you're writing it, who you are in relation to the claimant. How long have you known them? Are they blood relatives? Did you meet them a certain way? Was it a situation where, you've taken to the hospital multiple times? How do you know this person? Next thing, go through and explain the types of disabilities that they have. So, for example, when it comes to disabilities, you want to go ahead and outline in two categories: physical limitations and mental limitations. You can start with either, one first, but the bottom line is you need to hit on both if both are applicable. I have noticed that the claimant has difficulty with the following: anxiety, depression, PTSD. Then go through those. Then, after you've completed that paragraph, go on to the physical ones. I have noticed that the claimant has difficulty or has the following disabilities: arthritis, arthropathy, blah, 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 blah. Okay? In each section, you should include a personal story of how you saw them having difficulty. Now, here's why, and it's a big, long story to explain, the subjective versus objective evidence, but you are not a doctor or somebody giving medical evidence or relevance to a claim. And what that means is that your testimony is not worth nearly as much as, for example, a medical expert or a legal expert or financial expert, somebody who does this for a living that continuously, repeatedly gives you a result based upon a system that a lot of people use. So because you're just a friend and you're talking about a story, it doesn't have as much weight as a professional doing it. What you're giving is called subjective evidence. It's what you remember. What they give, the doctors, the lawyers, things like that, is objective evidence. Now, this subjective evidence needs to be as outlined with details as possible. Here's why. People will not believe the subjective evidence if it's a very short, quick letter. Yeah, I know this person has difficulty with their hearing. Done. Signed, date, here you go. Terrible letter. What you need is a letter that outlines specifics. When they notice something, well, they fell down on the stairs at the marina on such and such day due to this. They were taking medication, which I know they're not supposed to be in the sun. It caused them to, have a loss of ability to walk. Their ambulation before that was, not perfect, and start talking about it. They explained to me after the whole incident happened, These are important facts. Did you take that person to a medical clinic? Did you assist them? What did they tell you while that was going on? Include these details. They're important, okay? Now, as, a friends can be family members, they can be anybody. What's important to include information about at the end is whether or not you feel that this person could do the types of jobs that they've done in the past. Now, I know you're not an expert. You're not a VE, a vocational expert, and I get that. but putting in a little note at the very end that says, look, I'm not sure that they'd be able to do, being a waitress because they have a hard time walking. I don't know if they'd be able to do being a waitress because they have a hard time holding a tray with lots of items on it. Things like that. Put in a little notation about an industry that they've worked in for a very long time, because it will help their claim, because it'll show that from a humanistic, basic, friend-on-friend conversation-based letter that you don't believe they could do the job. And that continuous, repetitive, they can't work in the national economy 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, that ultimately will render someone to look at it and potentially give a positive or fully favorable finding based upon it. All right? My name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. If you want free consultation, if you want the most up-to-date information, or you would like a video made specifically for, things that you're looking for, topics, stuff like that, give me a call, shoot me an email, and we will go from there. All right? Thank you so much. You have a great day. Bye-bye.